Okay, so right off the top, let's go back to that cabinet meeting at the White House where President Donald Trump held that first cabinet meeting since the war with Iran began. The president's message: the U.S. is mission accomplished despite Iran's objections to a U.S. term for ceasefire. We're talking about that 15-point plan reportedly rejected. CBS News' Aaron Navarro live at the White House for the top lines that came out of that cabinet meeting. Aaron, any clarity offered today on the back and forth between Iran and the U.S.?
Well, President Trump continued to say that Iran is the one that wants to make a deal and kind of pushed back on their public comments that either deny that those negotiations are happening or that they have rejected the deal outright. At one point, the president said Iran is begging to make a deal, not us. He was referencing also a Wall Street Journal report that said that the president was desperate for an exit ramp out of this conflict. He pushed back on that, saying he is not desperate. And he said the reason that Iran wants to make a deal is because their military has been decimated, though he had a bit more colorful language than that. We also heard Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, who has been involved in these alleged negotiations between the U.S. and Iran, at least in direct talks, sound a bit more optimistic, saying that he believes Iran is looking for an off-ramp and that there are strong signs, in Witkoff's words, that Iran can be convinced there are no better alternatives than the deal that the U.S. has sent. He also said that the 15 points of agreement that have been sent to Iran through Pakistan as the intermediary would not be revealed in terms of the specifics of those, saying he wants to keep those just to the negotiation and not in the press. President Trump was also asked about that 5-day deadline that he instituted on Monday for Iran to agree to a deal before the U.S. Potentially continues with strikes on their energy facilities. Take a listen to what he told reporters earlier this afternoon.
You know, I told you about a present, right? Steve, can I reveal the present?
You can do anything you want.
Thank you. They said to show you the fact that we're real and solid and we're there, we're going to let you have 8 boats of oil. 8 boats, 8 big boats of oil. This was 2 days ago. And they'll sail up tomorrow. That was 3 days ago. I said, well, I guess we're dealing with the right people. And actually, they then apologized for something they said, and they said, we're going to send 2 more boats.
Now, you heard President Trump giving more details on the present that he said Iran, the leaders there, essentially gave to the U.S. And that was kind of the test of their authority for President Trump to see that they were dealing with the right people, especially given all the leadership changes after the killing of the Ayatollah. The president said there was about 8 oil tankers that came through a couple days ago, and then 2 more that came. In regards to the timeline that he was asked about in that deadline of 5 days before the U.S. potentially hits energy facilities in Iran, the president said he does not know yet if that timeline, that deadline, will be extended, and pointed to wanting to continue, quote, substantial talks between the U.S. and Iran.